Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and today we're going to do something a little bit different. You see, Creative Assembly have a known issues list, which apparently is on the Steam community tab. This is something that I didn't really know of, as, well, it should really be something that they put on their official blog. It looks like it's received a major update, and it's always important to look at, as stuff here, as far as I've seen, ends up, or at least a decent chunk of it, ends up being in the next patch. So, yeah, let's start talking about some of the things that need to be changed. We're just going to go section by section and just talk here. So first up is endgame crisis are less customizable in co-op. Yeah, this has been addressed in a recent blog too, so it's going to be cool to be able to actually have proper endgame scenarios when you're playing with a friend. Visual issues with portraits, yeah, this is something that we know where they just get really wide. I don't know why. Dryker cannot recruit Cordil. Yeah, this has been an issue that's been reported since the very beginning. I'm glad that they're finally getting to it. The Pestilence scheme right doesn't work. Yep, this is something else. And a lot of them aren't really exciting changes. Well, pressing changes, but you know what I mean. Some unit models have excessively bright bloom. Yeah, this is something which you would have noticed. Even if you use mods, it affects even mods where some issues like the Ice Wolves or anything that's kind of just shiny will just get to the point of blinding. I don't know why this is a thing, but even modders can't seem to find the issue there. Wolfheart quest to search ruins does not progress upon completion. Yep, one of the reasons why I don't want to play as Wolfheart. UI states demolishing buildings costs money. This is something that really confused me. Like, I don't know why that would be the case. It would be the case that it would have to give money back, right? Again, something that's been reported during early access, actually. This is something that I know some other creators reported during the early access period because it's just very confusing. AI moves just outside of player range. I've not really seen this too much, barring when, you know, you don't have a lot of movement, and yeah, you know, they're going to run away if they have the extra movement. We're going to have to wait and see what this actually means. I hope they're not just going to make the AI stay stationary, because that would just kind of defeat the purpose of running away, you know? Last Defender's quest battle times out when an army fails to spawn in. This should actually be, you know, army fails to spawn in, because that's the issue itself, right? Ambush battles do not properly start with army full of stalk units as AI cannot attack them. I mean, that's a weird bug. I've never really seen this myself, and I've had an army of stalk units. Hell, it's something with Oxyodal that you could do, but yeah, weird. A vampire count map allows reinforcements within the city. Yeah, I've seen this. It's not the only issue with siege battles, but yeah, it's one of those things that need to be fixed up. Mind you, if anyone from Creative Assembly is listening, you stated, I think it was this patch or the last patch, that this was going to be fixed for a few other maps, and yeah, it's not fixed. Just a heads up. Ambushing an army in force march and letting them walk off the map causes the opposing army to die. I've seen this, yeah, it's really weird. I think this happened in one of my last streams. It's definitely something that needs to be fixed, because in theory, if anything gets out there, it does run away, which would mean an extra battle for you. I know that sounds tedious, but it means extra experience. But yeah, this is something that is really weird. It works for the player, it just doesn't work for the AI. Auto-resolve values seem overly favorable towards the player in Immortal Empires. I mean, yeah, auto-resolve is just really weird. It's not just the favorable thing, it's the fact that certain auto-resolve values are just very, very off. Hopefully this gets fixed. It's still not really going to change anything. A lot of players will still be able to auto-resolve their battles, but it's more of a logic thing. So yeah, I'm cool with that. Great Unclean Ones are underperforming. Do they mean in multiplayer, or do they mean in campaign, or both? They do kind of underperform in campaign, I would say. They do need a little bit more physical resistance. That's just in my opinion. Just, they're really slow, and the fact is that they do kind of need to be a little bit stronger, so when they actually get to the enemy, they're not half dead as it is. Landmark buildings present in Mortal Empires aren't all represented in Immortal Empires. Yeah, this is something that they mentioned on a blog too, which is kind of weird. I guess it's because they have to copy-paste the code. Some things can be missed out. It does happen when it's in translation, I guess. So I completely understand it. But we do desperately need some extra landmarks for a lot of the races, as it adds in a lot of flavor and it gives you more incentive to go out and actually start, you know, hunting for them. Nothing more annoying to see the icon for landmarks and then capturing the city and then not having a landmark. Range units don't shoot at targets that are in line of sight. This is a massive one, which I've started noticing recently as I've been playing a High Elf campaign. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. They were perfectly fine until this recent patch, at least in my opinion. And yeah, with your range armies, you kind of want to be able to shoot. Plus, there's a lot of factions which heavily focus on range. The AI can preempt and dodge artillery strikes. Yeah, this has been an issue since day one of Warhammer 4A, not just recent. So it's good to see that this is eventually going to get fixed. I think it was slated for this next patch. Is that what the last blog said? I really hope so at the very least, because I do want to play an Empire campaign. It just makes no sense if, you know, everyone's just being able to dodge it like the Matrix. Isabella von Carstein does not provide blood kisses when assassinating characters. Oh, really? See, I don't know this, because I normally have her with Vlad all the time, but yeah, it's good the fact that someone's reported it, so this could be fixed for people who might use her as an assassin. Sometimes range units begin running into melee after running out of ammo with God mode on. I've noticed this myself recently with my Lothan Sea Guard, which doesn't matter with them, but it can be a little bit annoying with, you know, basic archers and stuff that you don't want to have in melee. Eltharion Starting Lord doesn't have a trait. Okay, yeah, this kind of needs to happen because like every lord has a trait in some way, shape or form. Items that reduce miscast chance may not be functioning. Oh, really? Actually, yeah, that explains a lot. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So I did notice a lot more miscasts, but I actually thought that was just bad luck on my part. You know, it happened to me a lot on the tabletop. I was expecting it here too. But yeah, it's good to know that that's the case now. Inconsistencies in passive abilities or trait descriptions. Yeah, this is something that's been noticeable a lot, where some characters might provide certain effects, but the effects don't actually happen. So I'm really happy that this is going to be changed. Bretonnian Knights do not have unique heraldry. Yeah, this is something that really stops me from playing Bretonnia. There's a mod for it now, though, thankfully. But yeah, everyone having all the same color on the units and stuff, it's just kind of frustrating because Bretonnia is supposed to be like all really colorful and stuff. I don't know how that got lost in the translation from Mortal Empires to Immortal, but I'm really glad that this is getting fixed. I know it's not a big thing, I know, but, you know, aesthetically, it's a visual thing, and it's really important for the faction. And finally, for new, is army doesn't spawn in Tyrion's Sunfang quest. Yeah, this is a bit of an issue too, and that needs to be resolved. Yeah, so far, it's a good list. We're going to go for the stuff that's already been put out here, because I feel like it's important to talk about. So let's move on. Some characters get more skill points than there are skills to invest in them. Yes, this is a bit of an issue. Really, we just need a skill dump thing, as this has been a mod for the longest time. And really, it's the case that, you know, with the increase where everyone can get to like rank 50, yeah, until new skills are added, it's going to get annoying because you're just going to keep having that pop up. Then you'll skip it sometimes and make a mistake of not actually giving skills to the stuff that has some open skill points. It's kind of frustrating. Honestly, yeah, skill dump, please, Creative Assembly. Like, I know you don't want to take inspiration too much from mods and stuff. It's very obvious because there's a lot of stuff that could have fixed a lot of issues if they would have taken inspiration from mods. But, yeah, it's just a skill dump would be lovely. Or, if they want to just add a bunch of skills, that works too. But normally when it comes to those overhauls and balancing changes and stuff, it's normally tied to a DLC, because that means that they can put the dev time onto it. Too many settlement battles. No. Right now, it's the fact that that got removed. I would say instead it's not enough battles in general, right? Land battles, there's a lot more, but it's not really in land, it's fighting on settlements. There's not enough settlement battles now, I'd say. Settlements need to be fixed up too. There needs to be a thing there. They can't just keep patting themselves on the back and not addressing the elephant in the room. I really hope this gets fixed up, because I really do like the settlements, but they just need to fix that. And they also just need to make the AI fight more on land in general. Just fix up the AI. This is what Total War needs. It's just a bit of an AI overhaul, and it's not just for this game. So I'm not being negative for the sake of being negative. It's just we need this in future games too, right? Eye strain and sickness. I'm not too sure what this means. I guess there's something with the visuals. There's just making people have eye strain and sickness. I know some maps can have some massive visual issues, so that could actually make people kind of sick. So yeah, at least it's getting changed, hopefully. Visual issues with trees spawning on maps. Yeah, there's floating trees everywhere. Sometimes it's kind of weird. Okay. Change game settings are not saved if player is leaving the game without properly closing it. Yeah, this is kind of weird because even crash the desktop and stuff, it'll just reset. And it's just kind of annoying because there's a lot more crashes to desktop recently. Let's move on. Chasing routing units is somewhat ineffective. Yeah, for some reason my troops stop. Or they get to the enemy, but they just don't do attack animations, which means they don't do damage. It's pretty bizarre. I don't know why. It's mostly the case of stopping. Sometimes I've got them chasing after, and they'll just randomly stop. And it's something I've complained about personally too. In some instances, garrison will be replenished instantly. I've not noticed this myself, but obviously if it's being reported, then obviously it's an issue. A Darklands choke point map should have a clear indication of which terrain is impassable. Yeah, this is something which is really strange. Because they will try to move to it. There's a few maps like this where you could actually just move through just weird terrain. Hell, even just some broken maps in general that have like no terrain. So hopefully this gets fixed soon because it is kind of noticeable. And obviously if it's a Darklands issue, eventually when we get the Chaos Dwarves, that can be a massive issue. Cults are not impactful in campaign gameplay. Yeah, there needs to be a few changes to certain cults just to make them a little bit more noticeable. But I wouldn't say that they're not impactful. Like, you can get a decent amount of money. Hell, with Scarbrand, it basically keeps you moving. I don't know. I think they could be a bit better. Maybe a better way for them to spread more often would be great. But other than that, I think that they work fine. Just a bit more spread would be great. Corruption effects, border textures, visual issues. Yeah, okay, yeah, this is a bit of an issue because it looks bad. I wouldn't say it's something that needs to be done right now. I know a lot of people would say otherwise, but yeah, it is kind of frustrating because those jagged edges can be a bit odd, but yeah, at least they're going to be cool about that. And intended plague effects can easily be overwritten by other plagues. Yeah, like if you've got one plague, sometimes having another plague causes issues and overrides, and it's just a bit of a weird thing. The thing is, it might be a bit too weird to have like multiple plagues, so I don't really know how they could fix this. The good thing is, like, look, they've got a massive list of things that need to be changed and fixed, and it's good. It means that they're listening. I do wish that things would be taking more precedence than other, or if just some more devs were placed into it just to make sure that we could get stuff fixed. And I'm not complaining here because the patch cycles have been really good. It's been, what, every 6 weeks, which in fairness is actually really, really good for Creative Assembly, considering that prior to this, you know, in Warhammer 2, patches would only come out with DLC, and that was, what, once every 7 months? So, yeah, I'm quite happy. I think there's a few changes here that need to be taken care of ASAP, like the Dryker thing, the Tyrion thing, anything to do with quest battles, because that stuff has been reported since launch in August. We're already moving on to November now. But yeah, I guess that's it. I'll leave a link to the community page here in the description below in case you want to see it, as I'd completely forgotten this existed, and maybe you guys have too. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let's start a bit of a discussion. Hopefully it won't be too long until we start getting some news regarding the next patch. With all that being said, I'll see you all very, very soon, and have a good day.